to a white color, and what we're going to do is change our start and end depth position. We're going to we'll leave our start depth where it is at 0, but we're going to wind the end depth down, and you'll see that things become clearer closer to the camera and more affected by the fog back here where the teapot is. So if we try to position it so that the teapot's fairly hazy or more hazier than the torus knot here, and now we're going to wind the start depth back towards that teapot, and if we bring the end depth back up a little bit, you'll see that the teapot is very heavily affected by the fog, but up here where the torus knot is not so heavily affected. And now if I turn the white background back on, you'll see the effect that you get from that. Just give us some real estate here. There we go. And so it gives the impression, and if we bend it out even further, we can have that teapot disappear into that fog, and then bring it forward a little bit so that it's shared. That really sells the effect as having a volumetric space, a volumetric atmospheric space to work in there, and that also works with the road background. If there was any volumetrics in the road, like if I was to take this now and wind it into something a little more believable, and we'll just bring the end one fog end down a little bit more. That in itself is giving us something that reads a little bit more believable in the scene being in our objects being in that scene, just simply because as the fog affects geometry further away from camera, it would be more than geometry closer to camera, and that is a natural occurring atmospheric process. So as you can see, there's a lot of power to these RPF file types, and RLA file types work exactly the same. There's only one or two options that are in an RPF that aren't in an RLA, but you certainly get the most powerful features, which is Z depth. And you'll notice here in the project setting that information is actually given to you when you highlight the scene, or when you highlight the